Hello everyone, welcome to the moon in the 8th house of your chart. This video is good if the moon is placed 8 houses away from your ascendant, but you can also use this in a Western chart as long as you are using sign for a house system. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below and let's begin. First of all, what is the 8th house in your chart? A lot of misunderstandings are there about this house. It's the house of crisis, of sudden endings and trauma. And it's past life debt coming back to us definitely. And all of these situations are intensely karmic, transforming our life and pushing us in a new direction. It's a very powerful place where we let go of the past and we move on. It's rejuvenation, resurrection, where we dust off ourselves and start again from scratch. Yes, the 8th house can show some long-lasting chronic diseases, but ultimately it is the actual house of survival, the house of longevity. The 8th house is about the deep hidden mysteries of life, including astrology, occult science, etc. But really, truly, it's not Jyotish itself, that is 9th house, because Vedic astrology has a deep tradition which is dharmic and coming from sages. So actually that's 9th house. But the 8th house astrology is occult science and widely practiced. It's the business house, all about investments, wheeling and dealing, stock market, all of those things where you are doing business deals. It is definitely shown in this 8th house. It's your joint finance with your partner and your in-laws also. And who then is the moon? The moon is known as Chandra in the Vedic system. He is the most gentle of all the grahas. He has no enemies. He is friendly to all. He rules the 4th house of your chart, the mother, the land, the country, and the home. He gives, therefore, a feeling of belonging, security, inclusivity, and happiness. He represents a DNA program in every cell of our body from which we will carry out our karmas in this life. He is also responsible for our food and our nourishment, indeed for the very air that we breathe. He therefore represents the very health of our body and our longevity. He is, of course, Manas, the mind. Therefore, he has everything to do with our impressions of life, our memories, and indeed our emotions. So when the gentle moon goes into the deep, dark 8th house of the chart, what's going to happen? It is a Marikasthana position. I will speak more of that. But the most important thing you need to know is what sign is the moon in, because that Lord placement in your chart will give you the result of this house placement also. Please check Moon Karma's All Sign. I will link that video below and at the end. And more than that, the moon's position becomes the first house for the Chandra Lagna. From this and the positions of all your planets, you see so much about your whole life destiny. Please check out the video on my channel, The Moon Chart. I will link that below as well and at the end. So the moon is in the 8th house of your chart, and definitely the moon has some struggles here for sure. It's a Marikasthana position. This means that the moon is weakened by this position because it's the natural sign of Scorpio in the zodiac, the 8th sign. So Scorpio is like a deep, dark well, and it's all underground where those scorpions live, yeah? And the moon cannot be so happy in such a place. So the emotional and tender nature of the moon has to toughen up a little bit in this house to deal with the many ups and downs in life. So in actuality, as far as you are concerned, the moon in the 8th house is not a position of weakness for you. It becomes a position of strength. It actually gives great intelligence, insight, intuition, ability to virtually understand other people's motives, to really have insight into human behavior. This moon makes you into a real survivor in life. You survive many difficulties, sometimes illnesses, sometimes dramatic circumstances coming out of the blue, family traumas, etc. You survive all of these and it actually makes you stronger. Now the moon is about our health. As I've just said, this is a house of long-lasting diseases, chronic disease. So sometimes there can be great difficulty, but very, very often it is things like skin diseases, speech problems, long-lasting, difficult to cure things, but you simply learn to live with. Very important factor of this placement is that the moon is, of course, the mother herself, Karaka for the mother. And placed in this 8th house, mother may have sometimes had difficult childbirth experience when you arrived. There can be induced birth, difficult childbirth, or mother was actually going through difficult, trying circumstances and can actually have illnesses, mental health issues, traumas in her own life. So the mother is transforming, and this is not the most nurturing situation for a child. Ill-placed and with malefic affliction, moon in the 8th house can show death of mother, loss of mother, separation from the mother, or really great difficulties relating to the mother. Mother can also make great demands on you, be a little bit manipulating, controlling even. The more malefic's influence, the more difficult it becomes. That's the rule. Benefics like Jupiter will help the situation. Either way, mother relationship is not easy for these people with the moon 8th house, but nonetheless, you can have a very deep bond with her despite the difficulties. Now, the 8th house represents our debts, as I have just explained, coming from past life. The moon here shows you have a debt around emotional nurturance. Even if you do not receive so much yourself, you have to pay back the debt to society. You have to give nurturance to others. You see, because of all the ups and downs, traumas, difficulties you face, you become stronger, as I've said, but you also gain insight that can help other people. You gain enormous strength, and that strength has to be given out. You see, there is great healing power with this moon 8th house, so definitely medical careers. This is a house of medicine, by the way. Doctors, nurses, surgeons, everybody connected to mental well-being, psychiatrists, psychologists, counselors benefit tremendously by this moon 8th house. And it's a house of business and joint finance. So very often people who are business advisors giving financial advice will also have this placement. One thing to be aware of though, moon is the mind, and being in this 8th house, your mind becomes vulnerable to anxiety and fears because the 8th house is about fear. You can become worrisome, fearful, have even mental health disorders yourself, such as OCD, anxiety, even depression. So depending on the aspects and how afflicted is the moon, you've got to protect your own mind. This is why moon in the 8th needs time alone, time for contemplation, meditation, definitely relaxation. If you give yourself this, you will have more power to give to others. Of course, another reason why I like to spend time alone is to study. Moon in the 8th is great for students, great for deep study, great for researchers in any field actually, and definitely for occult study. Now, this moon has a 7th aspect on the 2nd house. So your deepest desire is for financial security, stability, family tradition, and morality. However, when you have malefics with the moon in the 8th or in this 2nd house aspecting, difficult early childhood circumstance again will be shown. Insecurity is there, something which you have to overcome. If you are in any family business, there can be challenges too if there are malefics. But if there are benefics aspecting, great success in family business could be there. Indeed, a very well-placed moon by sign, well aspected, you can get family inheritance and actual wealth from your family. Now, the moon's desire for security is so strong that very often moon 8th house gets involved in investments, stock market, all sorts of financial risks. You are not risk adverse, that's for sure. But take financial advice when there is affliction to the moon. That would be the wise thing. Check out the moon in all signs up on your screen right now on the moon chart to find out more about the moon placement. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Goodbye for now and God bless everyone.